Kitchen. I've got Kim. Hello, everybody. Here we are, third session, and how exciting is that? That we have reached through to the end of our three parts of this challenge. The last time I did a challenge like this, I did 4 sessions, and it was an hour long each. By the end, everyone was like, because 4 nights in a row is too much for anyone. So that hence why I've condensed it, and hopefully this is something that works for people. I also didn't record it last time, whereas obviously, as you know, I've recorded it this time so people can come and go as they need to. But I don't think there's anything better than the live in-person stuff personally, because then you can ask questions if you don't understand something, and it just feels like you're part of something. So thank you for joining me. So I'm not sat here on my own. I'm just going to let some more people in. So session 3, here we go. Massive congratulations to you, like I say, for staying the distance. I know we've gone through a huge amount of stuff over the past couple of evenings, and we're going to go through even more stuff now. Here's just a bit of a recap really of what we've done so far, and hopefully you've enjoyed yourselves. Hopefully you've managed to get some good feedback and some good ideas. Matthew's saying he's got no audio. Is everyone else okay with audio? What are we seeing? Can everyone hear me okay? Can you hear me now, Matthew? That's a shame. It's okay for everyone else, Matthew, so I think it could just be you can go out and come back in again, maybe. That might reboot things somewhat. We've reached the final hurdle, and we've looked at various things, including we started those avatars yesterday. So I would love to pick up on that in this session and see if we can get into a bit more detail about how that all works, because I think they're quite fun. So do we remember Freddie? I hope we do remember Freddie. He is the example that we ran through yesterday, and he is basically a target reader for a financial mystery thriller fiction novel which is set at Christmas, mostly in London. Here are those questions that I posed to our team and then posed to you to think about for your own avatar, and I've had some great feedback from people. Sorry if I haven't been able to reply to you. It's been a bit of a busy day in terms of meetings today, but it's been really fun to see that people have been taking these questions on board and actually getting to think about, oh, hang on a minute, I'm not sure my target reader is necessarily just this person. I think there could also be somebody else, which opens up other marketing opportunities, which is always fun. So yeah, really chuffed that went down so well with you all. So the idea being that once we've done all of this and we've worked out who 1, 2, 3 avatars are, so to our target readers, we can then use that information to work out a bit more of a marketing plan. So, for example, here are some of the ideas that came off the back. And as I say, this is a real life example. The book is Zero Risk by Simon Hayes, so you can look it up and see what we're doing with that. But the idea being that we have used Freddie to shape part of the marketing plan. And Freddie basically, as we know, reads a lot of the sort of men's press, FT, business and banking magazines. So it makes sense for us to pitch to them. It isn't a case of just going, oh, here's a new book, what do you think? You have to come up with angles, you have to think about timing, you have to think about which contact you're going to pitch to, but it's kind of like pretty obvious to us that we need to be targeting them. We love a real life angle as well, because the media is very interested in the author behind the book. Often more so than the actual book itself, unfortunately, for some readers, for some authors. So, we think that there's some real life angles that we could be digging out from spending a bit of time with him on Zoom or chatting through with him online, and just trying to work out what we could pitch for podcasts and that sort of thing, from his career perspective, I think probably most. London, obviously, the local outreach is always good. It's always handy for us if there's a really strong regional media presence, so Yorkshire Evening Post, for example, or the Chronicles, the Living magazines in different areas. There's loads of different regional magazines. London is actually trickier because obviously it's so big, and there's so many different types of media, and there isn't really one. There's Evening Standard, but so there isn't really sort of like a regional newspaper, so to speak. It tends to be much more specific to like Richmond or Crystal Palace, or so it's a bit different, it's a bit trickier. We've got the family angle, which we can actually look into as well. So, for example, how did the family support him while he was writing the book and doing that job? Is there any connections with the wife's work that we could explore? Is the baby really young? Are there other parents that we could be pitching the book out to? He went to uni, so they always have some sort of alumni newsletter, and they're often quite interested to hear if one of their previous students has written a book and published a book. So it's definitely worth having a look at that. Looking through other workplaces he's worked in and seeing if they've got an intranet, a mailing list, something they could offer, so he could go in and talk about how he wrote this book and inspire some of them maybe. And then you've got obviously current colleagues who hopefully will be quite supportive as well. If you're in part of a big organisation, you could talk to HR. If you're part of a smaller team, hopefully you can just have a chat with everyone in the office and get their support. Looking at comp authors, we can see what sort of advertising and branding and stuff they're doing to appeal to readers that are like Freddie. And then we decide what we think will work best. And obviously some of the stuff just won't be what we want to do or won't be what the author wants to do. So we take what we want, we cherry pick what we want from those bits of inspiration. And then we like to think about the sorts of TV shows and films and those sorts of things that we pick up on in the avatar creation, because they're quite fun to include in some of the narrative around the marketing. So particularly if it's a trending, show like The Apprentice, for example, we could do some content for social media whilst the Apprentice is on, and use those hashtags and actually kind of jump on those conversations, and that actually tends to work pretty well. We did that for when Love Island final was on last year, and we had a rom-com book that was set in the summer, so it was quite fun to sort of jump on that and do some stuff around that. So yeah, it's just about having a bit of fun with it, really. And then the other thing is that we put together a list of reviewers who we think would like that sort of book based on him as a demographic. So obviously we would try and get some men involved in the reviewer list, and some men of that age, some men of that kind of career. So for example, we've been targeting lots of the risk managers in the city. We've been looking at a lot of the reviewers we've tried to recruit have ended up being women, because I think women just naturally do tend to read and review more. But we have made a concerted effort to get more guys on board. So that's how we've used it. So hopefully that now makes a bit more sense in terms of why you do it and the sorts of outcomes that you can get from that avatar creation. And then of course you rinse and repeat that for each of the other avatars. That's why you would want them to be quite different, otherwise you're just doing the same thing. And if you genuinely think, well, no, I think they are all the same, then you just got to hone in on these sorts of ideas. But we like to try and mix it up a bit and get more people involved. So the to-do list as to where we're at right now, really, I would say the top priorities are these. So spend some more time on the comp work. So thinking about the films, the authors, the TV shows and the books that you think would be most relevant to your readership. Build that list and then basically have it to hand. Ideally have it on like a Google sheet or an Excel sheet or a Word document, whatever, just so you can keep track of it and add to it as you go on through the process. Keep building those keywords. These aren't keywords like you put into like your Amazon listing. We're talking about really trying to find those ideal review quotes, the words that would go in the tagline, the words that you'd use in your social media profiles, and that sort of thing. So kind of the descriptors. Working on your elevator pitch and your tag is also really helpful, and of course creating those first avatars. So that's the kind of to-do list I've landed on your lap, guys, so congratulations, well done. You're gonna be like, I don't want to do this. Do as much as you can when you can. Like there's literally I'm not going to be like on your back what on your kind of checking you've done your homework. But the more you do, the better it is, because basically it's all about building this foundation. So you do one bit and that kind of informs the next. So the 10 C's basically start with create, and then they go through to consistency, and each one kind of layers on top of the other. Doesn't mean you can't do one in isolation. You absolutely can, because if you drill down and spend a lot of time on community, you'd find that you get quite a lot of rewards from that. But I find if you can actually have a plan, a strategy, it does tend to help. Funnily enough, who knew, right? So the last kind of bit that I want to do in terms of getting you to write something and just take a second to just pause and think, is the mission statement. Now, you might think, well, why do I need a mission statement if I'm an author? You know, is that not a bit sort of like something that a company would do, or maybe a charity or an organisation? But the truth is that you are an entrepreneur if you're an author, regardless of how you've published. And it is a good idea to have a mission statement because you can keep referring back to that. So checking that when you say yes to something, it's in alignment with the goals that you've got and the mission statement that you've got. So it kind of avoids you getting that distracted, that shiny new thing syndrome, where you're like, oh, someone's asked me to do this, someone's asked me to do that, someone's asked me to do that, I'm just going to say yes to everything. Overwhelm happens. You don't get to do the things you actually need to do, and you're sort of just spending most of your life doing stuff for other people. If you get offered something and you think, does that align with my mission statement? Is that in line with my goals? And it's a yes, brilliant. If it's like a no, not really, then you've kind of got your answer there in terms of what you should be saying yes and no to. So just to give you an idea, my mission statement, and I wrote this for this course last year, is to empower, educate, champion and support talented indie authors to achieve success and enjoy longevity in their career. So there's keywords in there that are really important to me. Obviously, you can see which ones they are. So empower, educate, champion. I really like to provide a supportive service, a holistic service. And for me, it's very much about the indie authors. I love working with independent authors. And success is different to every author. So I didn't want to define success too strictly there. But for me as well, I really want people to be able to enjoy a long-term career in writing. So our services are great for people who are launching a book, but the even better way of working with us is if you've got more than one book and you want to do it for longer. Examples of some of the sort of mission statements that we've seen over the years, and like I say, we've worked with over 700 authors, so we've seen all sorts. Can be anything from inspire, educate, entertain, to sort of very specific ones, you know, busting open a myth, or trying to help people see things from a different perspective. This is actually a true one. Become the world's best-selling author of historical fiction set in North England. So yeah, there's lots of different mission statements, and obviously it's very, very personal. So have a little think just for a second while I move on to the next bit about what you think your mission statement could be. It will definitely be informed by the goals that you want to achieve through the creation and publication of your book. It may well tap into some of your goals and objectives for the future of your author career. It might be as simple as, I just want to make people laugh. It might be as simple as, I just want to make people think differently. Like, you know, don't go too deep on it at this point and stress yourself out. But just think about what's your mission statement. As I say, if I kind of keep going back to my mission statement, so when I get asked to, for example, do something like a collaboration that's like free, so for example, I'm not getting paid for it, but they want me to help by turning up somewhere and doing some sort of, I don't know, webinar or workshop or something. If I think it taps into my mission statement, I'm way more likely to say yes. So if there's going to be indie authors there, if it's very much about sort of branding and long-term success, and about really trying to support them in a number of ways, about empowering them to feel like they can do some of it themselves, as well as offering our services to help them, then I will probably do it. But I do kind of use that as my check-in tool, really. And if I think it works for me, I'm pretty certain it's going to work for you guys, because I'm no different to you lot. So if you would like to, if anyone wants to share, again, no pressure, but as I'm carrying on talking, you're very welcome to pop some words in. The reason why I ask people to share is because you may say something that will inspire someone else, or you may see something that inspires you. So we do all learn from each other. It's a constant learning curve. Talking of which, community. So I couldn't have really done that more of a segue there. So building community for us is really, really important. So as you know, collaboration and community are two of the 10 C's, and we think that they're a really big part of the author brand work that we do. I know there's lots of people out there that can help when you're an indie author, but I do feel like it can be quite an isolating and lonely place. There isn't a great amount of accountability. For example, you might have an idea and you've got no one to run it by. You might be thinking, are these the right keywords? Is this the right thing to do? Should I be spending this money on this ad? That kind of thing. which is where it's really helpful to have not just other authors in your network, but also to have the expert team from Lit PR on your side. So we can give you advice on things like social media, marketing, publicity, book prizes, the publishing process, and a lot more, which is why we always offer the access to the private Facebook group, which we call the Successful Authors Mastermind, which is basically a very exclusive small group of people who have all been part of or are going to be part of the 10 Cs of our author brand course. And we offer that to everybody who signs up. So we do genuinely believe that it's quite helpful for everyone to follow each other if they're doing something like this. So if you would be open, for example, to pop in your social media handle in, maybe the one that you use the most, or your author website or any sort of link, and then we can all start following each other. I think that would be a really lovely outcome from this this 3-day session. And, you know, we can sort of support each other on our social media platform of choice, and just talk through the avatars and stuff if you want to, and share some of that on our socials. So obviously I want to give you some more support. You've all bothered to show up and I'm really grateful for that. So we've put together a series of different sorts of education empowerment resources that I hope that you will be of interest to you. So the first one that we've been doing for a long time now is the Vault. Basically, that is a resource that is packed with webinars and downloads. My cat's come to say hello. Webinars and downloads that have been recorded over the past 2 to 3 years. So we've got stuff on how to use LinkedIn as an author, TikTok, the difference between X and Threads. We've got how to approach reviewers, how to boost your social media followers, all this different stuff. We've got stuff on mindset, planning, marketing planning, loads of stuff in there. And you can go through it in your own time. And that is available to buy on our shop, along with other ad hoc stuff from £5. So if at any point you feel like you need some help, hopefully some of that stuff on that shop will help you. And this resource, this Vault, is really good. 1 year membership is £249, which, you know, gives you the full year to access whatever you like. More content does get put in that, of course, throughout the year. So you can kind of, once you've gone through it, there will be more stuff during that year that comes in to help you. But the real reason we're here is because of the Author Brand course that I'm really, really proud of. I've been wanting to do this now for about 3 or 4 years. Well, since the pandemic, I created this framework of the 10 Cs. I'm very, very passionate about it. Hopefully that comes across. And I love coaching authors on a group basis and on a one-to-one basis. So we are approaching the final week of our 10-week course. It was a bit of a, let's just see if it works, and it has. I've been getting some amazing reviews and testimonials from the 15 authors that have joined. I'm just so happy that it's worked, and I am doing another one on the 3rd of June. So basically that involves a weekly live coaching with me for an hour every Monday, a bit like this, but a bit calmer, because we're not running through everything so quickly. But you also get one-to-ones with experts on the team, so you get bespoke support, so you can kind of ask questions on social media, on the community, on the different Cs that we run through. So every week we run through a different one of the 10 Cs. And of course, as I mentioned, you get access to that Successful Authors Mastermind Facebook group for life, and that is £999 for the 10-week course. We've also got the DIY 10-part course, which basically means that you can access the content from this first 10-week course. You get the slide decks, you get the Facebook group, and you get the webinars, the webinar recordings, and that's only £199 as a launch price. And then we're also, in response to people's requests, doing an intensive online 1 day of the 10 Cs, and there's a wait list for that, and that will be £599 for the launch. So yeah, you get all the content of the 10 weeks, but you just don't get the one-to-ones, and obviously the running over 10 weeks, you get it in 1 day. So it depends on what you want. But because I want to make sure that I reward you for bothering to show up for the past 3 days, we've put together an offer, which I hope will be of interest to some of you. It's quite exciting for us. So basically you can buy the DIY 10 Cs course, and you can do that in your own time, and get 1 year access to the Vault for free. So basically you'd be paying £199, but you get £448 worth of education and empowerment. So for £199, you'd get the DIY course, you get access to everything, and the Facebook group, and you get the Vault for 1 year. Or, and this is the bit that I'd really like you to sign up to, this is the 10-week live author brand coaching course, because I know it works, and you get lifetime membership of the Vault for free, which means forever you will be accessing all the information of the up-to-date marketing stuff that you need to know forever, for as long as we're doing it, which will be a long time. Plus, I'm going to throw in a NetGalley listing for 4 weeks so you can boost those reviews, and you'll get our digital marketing toolkit, which is a really helpful resource. And we're offering that for only half price. So basically, you're going to pay £499 for nearly £2,000 worth of services and education and empowerment, which we couldn't really put together, if we're honest, a better offer. We tried to throw other bits in and be like, no, it needs to be this, it needs to be this, to try and save us some money. But no, this I think as a whole will really, really help you. So it's £499, and you get the 10-week live author brand coaching course that starts in June. You get one-to-ones, a Facebook group, and you also get lifetime membership of the Vault for free. Plus, get some reviews through your NetGalley listing for 4 weeks and our digital marketing toolkit, and all for £499. So obviously, I can't offer this to everybody, and there's going to be people coming to me via email tomorrow as well, I think, because there's going to be people watching on catch up. So if you did want to take me up on this, then you can DM me, say yes in the chat, or email me at helenlewis@literallypr.com. We are limiting it to the first 8 people who express their interest in either, just because we obviously need to respect the value of those services for other people. So it's £199 for the Vault and the DIY course, or you pay half price, £499 for the 10-week course, but then you get all that stuff for free. So NetGalley listing, lifetime membership of the Vault, digital marketing toolkit, all that jazz. So if you want any of that, and I've seen somebody's already DM'd, so thank you, then you are very, very, very welcome to sign up. And I would love to spend 10 weeks with you from June the 3rd. It's basically an hour every Monday. If you can't make it, no problem, you can catch up. We have a very, very proactive Facebook group where you can ask questions and get lots of support from the team and from other people that have been on the course previously or on the course with you at that point. The course numbers are limited, so it does feel like a nice, good community. And yeah, it's a really, really fab course, and the one-to-ones are really helpful too, so you can get more help from members of the team on stuff that you're needing. And obviously, if you aren't ready to commit to the course, that's absolutely fine. I thank you anyway for joining me and letting me not speak into the void on my own. Please sign up to our mailing list, which is on our website, and have a look at our Eventbrite page as well, because we do other events, free kind of webinars and stuff every now and then. So yes, that is all there for you. I'm getting quite a few DMs. This is wonderful. If you do, like I say, this is genuinely going to be limited to 8, because I don't want to have lots of people getting it at half price when other people are paying. This is a thank you for being part of the challenge. So I would love it if anyone's got any questions. I will stay on for as long as you need me. And if you want to ask anything at all about anything we've covered over the past 3 days, or if you want to ask anything about the course or the Vault or anything, you're really, really welcome to ask that now. I am going to stop the recording though, and then maybe you can ask questions in a more private space rather. Stop recording.